Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Minecraft. Now, in the last episode, we found our treasured mesa biome, and did we ever? Looks like the majority of this island that we found is nothing but mesa as far as the eye can see, with a few little tree areas and swamps spread around, but not many. So I'll tell you what I did, guys, off camera. I wanted to find the perfect building spot, and I think I found it. I think you guys are going to be very, very pleased. I've already done a little bit of work on it, but I think it's a good place to put our house. I was originally going to put it in the savannah, but I thought, man, we have to take advantage of some of these really scenic vistas, and then I found the spot. Let me show you. Right around this corner. First off, look at that view. Looks like Castle Rocks as far as the eye can see. And that area right there, next to all these little lakes, is the perfect spot for our adobe house. Now, this actually was a very significant clay outcropping, but I just could not say no to all of this awesome scenery around us, especially that right there. So I went ahead and cleared it out and made a little base camp right here. We got all of our stuff as well as some food growing, because other than these squid, there are no animals to be found anywhere nearby. You want to know how much this was? Or how big this clay outcropping was before I flattened it out? Pretty significant. I went through quite a few iron picks in order to get it done, but we got it done. And now we can start actually building the foundation of this adobe house. Now, the thing about it is, I'm not exactly sure, looking at it now, how I want this adobe house to look in terms of color scheme. I was originally going to use some of the white stained clay. However, I do really like the light gray stained clay as well. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to build two little shacks right next to each other, and we're going to look them over and see what exactly we're going to do here. So let's go ahead and get these on our hotbar. And first up, contestant number 1 is going to be the white clay. This gives a very kind of southwest vibe to it. It's actually more of a Spanish adobe, because a lot of the Spanish adobe buildings around Santa Fe and Albuquerque and northern New Mexico are made out of this whitish clay. So let's go ahead and make this, 5. Just to kind of get a little bit in terms of how this contrasts with the view once we actually see it. And which means I'll be tearing these down, but that's not a big deal. Just making like an old western jailhouse, pretty much. Should just have a bed in there. And yeah, we'll just put a standard clay roof up there. Why not? Okay, so this is going to be building number 1. Not too bad. I think it actually contrasts very nicely. I'm going to make all of this eventually red sand. I'm getting rid of this clay ground. I mean, obviously the floor itself will have clay flooring and maybe some carpet, but we are going to put red sand all around here, which means I'm going to be doing a lot more mining before we're all said and done. But we might as well build the house on top first and then just take care of the residuals. So that's contestant number 1. That actually took the entire stack right there, almost 64. Now, let's go with the light gray clay and see how this looks. This, I don't know why, it doesn't look very traditional. Most of the adobe buildings that I've seen that belong to the cliff dwellings were actually made with more of a yellowish, actually more of the sandstone type stuff, and maybe even a little bit of the yellow. But I think that would eventually become an eyesore before too long, literally and figuratively, because yellow tends to do that. And this one will seem a little bit more organic. Now, one of the interesting things, if you guys have never been, and a lot of people have seen cliff dwellings around Colorado, the Pueblo Indians, but if you have never seen, if you've never seen a Pueblo dwelling, a really good place to go to see it in a more kind of modern aspect would be in Santa Fe, New Mexico's capital city. Santa Fe, let's get up here so we can get some perspective. Santa Fe actually has a statute, from how I understand it, that a good portion of the buildings inside the city limits, or at least the old towns, has to be built in the adobe style. And we mean like everything. I think even the McDonald's over in Santa Fe have to be built like that. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Speaking of interesting, this is an interesting little cave system. I think we're going to put our nether portal somewhere over here. So, man, look at these castle rocks, man. They just look awesome. I popped when I saw these. I was like, I have to build the house somewhere near here. And yeah, I think the white is going to win out. That just, it's going to catch your eye when you go over the hill, and you'll just see that. The gray looks okay, but not nearly as good as the white does. So, that decision's made. I hear a Zach nearby. Not exactly sure where. So, white is the winner. Let's go ahead and break this down. But having the Adobe style architecture mixed in with, you know, the conveniences of the modern world is a really interesting contrast. I know some people who really like it and some people who utterly despise it because they kind of like the old style and don't like it mixed in with modern stuff. But it certainly makes Santa Fe a really, really beautiful city. And I don't think anyone can really argue with that. And I think Santa Fe is like one of the oldest American city that's still in decent population. I may be wrong there, though. But I have not been to Santa Fe in some time. Anywhere in New Mexico would sound good at this point. So, white clay. And tons of it, too. If it takes a stack just to make this little area, then we're going to need quite a bit more. And I'm actually going to make this a lot taller than a 2 square. So, here's what I'm thinking. And I need you guys' input on this. I'm thinking of making this a sunken dwelling. And what I mean by that is we're going to have well, actually, this would probably be a really good way to explain it. Let's wait. Night's about to fall, so let's go ahead and head over here. Get some of our nap time on. And where were you, Zach? Ooh, I hear a bat, so there is a cave system nearby. That is awesome. We are definitely going to check out the caves underneath the house here before too much longer. Have our own little Carlsbad Caverns expedition. That's about dark enough for nighttime. There we go. Eat some taters, which is a standard pronunciation of potatoes where I come from. Now, here's what I'm thinking about doing. And this will actually take, it'll take actually about the same amount of clay. And this will give you kind of an idea of what I want to do for the outside. Let me get a little bit of the oak planks here because I'm going to need a lot more of those. And as you can see, I took those trees up there. I have some torches, so if I ever need some wood, I'm just going to head right up there, farm it. And despite the fact that I did level this entire area, I'm really trying to keep my footprint as small as possible. Like even once we get everything set up here, I'm going to have kind of a little back garden where I'm going to be moving all these crops and such along with some water buckets. Just make this look like a little hacienda. So, did we get the... Yes, we did. So, let me show you what I kind of want to do here. In terms of the white clay, you go up here, and we'll just at least create the door area. And I'll take care of that. Now, in terms of the door area, I don't really want to make this thing too tall. I kind of... let me go into F5 mode here so I can show you. You see, you have that, and these were not tall structures. I mean, obviously some of them were because they were multi-layered, but a singular hut or adobe structure wasn't particularly high. And it's kind of going to hurt the aesthetic that I'm going for because I'm going to be using these buttons to represent the foundation frames. You see that? That's kind of what I'm going for, is that right there. Which I think looks pretty cool and really organic. I actually might spread these out to one right after the other. Make it look a little less... Yeah, you see what I mean? But if you have that wrapped all around, that's actually going to look pretty cool. Now, my problem here, initially, with what I've thought about doing, and then I'll show you what's on my mind here, is if you do that and then create an additional layer so we have a little bit of headroom going in, you know, like this would be the ceiling. Even if we did like a vaulted a ceiling right there, if we put these up, see, it looks a little tall for me. It does not, I don't know, there's too much blank space here. Just, it hurts, it doesn't hurt my eye, but my sense of feng shui kind of goes out the window. So, what I think we're going to do, and this is where I'm going to need you guys' opinion on whether to go ahead and do this with the extra layer up there for the ceiling, or basically, oh, what a horrible shade of mustard yellow. Do this, basically make some stairs here. Probably I would think with quartz, which means the nether would be soon, and make this a sunken structure. So you'd go in, step down, and you would have that ceiling area without necessarily hurting. Let's see what that actually looks like with the door. And then you'd still have that wooden, you know, that stuff going right over the door. I think I really like that, but I would really like to hear you guys' opinion of it. And I know that yellow is probably a horrible way to explain it, but let's go ahead and move some of this here so you can just get the full. And I don't even know if the floor is going to be the same color. It's definitely not going to be mustard yellow, though. With the stairway right here, or a slab, not exactly sure which. And that kind of gives it the fact to a lot of the desert structures were sunken to take advantage of the cooler temperature, you know, with a slight underground vibe. So, let me know your opinions just as soon as you can before the next episode, which should be dropping on Monday. I'm sorry, by the way, that this episode is late. I was having some major problems with my recording software, and it just was not fixing itself. It was a sudden problem, and then I did something that's kind of unconventional, and it fixed itself. And I'm not exactly sure. I need a new pick. I'm not exactly sure how it fixed, but I'm not going to argue with the logic of it. I don't really expect anything to be on the internet to be particularly logical. So let's build more picks, and that's another thing I'm going to have to be doing a caving expedition down. I am actually slightly low on iron, which I need to fix. I don't want to make a diamond pick until I get 30 levels, or unless I die, whichever comes first, just so I can get a nice, get a really nice enchant on a diamond pick, maybe unbreaking and efficiency, so, you know, something nice. Maybe silk touch, why not? Stranger things have happened. So essentially, if we're going to be doing this, I'm going to have to hollow out this area by 2 squares for the step down and then for the floor itself. So it's a little bit more leveling than I initially suspected, but I think it'll be good. I think it'll be awesome. Now my question is, where do I want the entrance of this place? I'm thinking I want the entrance here, because there's the tree farm right there, and I want a back bedroom, or at least the little garden area right here, so I can enjoy this awesome view of these spires going up. So I think that's going to be shiny. So let's. I don't have anything to really plan a perimeter on. Well, yeah, I do. So let's go ahead. I got plenty of white stained clay, at least enough for a perimeter. So let's do that. Let's grab all the white clay, which I have a decent amount. I'm definitely going to have to start farming some of these mountains for it. But that's okay. We'll head far away from the house and just take a ton from some of these areas. Hopefully ones that have actually been leveled or lowered down to where they're actually on the top layer. So, I just had a cat jump in my lap. Hello, River. One sec, guys. Hey, you. Ugh, get up there on the back of the chair. She likes the perch there when I'm doing stuff here on the computer. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're just going to set a basic square perimeter. And if I need to fix it, I'll fix it. And this is going to be a pretty large house. This is going to be a hacienda kind of adobe structure. Definitely something for a modern guy to enjoy. And we can work on the backyard and stuff here. How many blocks is that? Because we want multiple rooms. Maybe a garage area. I know one thing we need to find, and hopefully it's on this island. We definitely need a donkey. We need a mule in the worst way possible. Not in that worst way. not Jay and not Clerks 2 kind of way, but definitely something. A pack animal would be perfect for this terrain. Is what I'm trying to say. Trying to catch myself. So this will be an actual. It's definitely not going to be perfectly shaped, but let's do this way. And I'm going to change my mind an awful lot during this, so I am prepared for whatever may come. So, and where's the... We'll go ahead and set this as the end. There's some of that lovely piano music going. There we are. Now that is quite an area for a house. That's going to be so much clay. Whew, goodness. Let's actually head up here to the tree farm again so I can kind of see what this is going to look like. Almost like a... You know, I could actually make that a fence. Kind of like a little Alamo type of thing, which would definitely help with the zombie protection. If I put fence posts all along the top, that would be cool. Definitely give me some protection when I was doing stuff at night. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe plant some trees in the and this will basically be the yard. So the house may be a little bit smaller, which I will not argue with. So if we do... the sun's starting to come down. If we do 1, 2, 3, 4... That gives us 1, 2, 3... Actually, this may work out. Let's go ahead and crash out. Just to prevent said zombies from spawning before we are ready for them. By the way, the wood up there at the tree farm, it's all oak. It looked a little bit ashen, but it is still oak. It just doesn't have a whole lot of moisture to it. And yeah. Yeah, I think this might work out really, really well. So 1, 2, 3... and a foundation stone right there. This will still be a pretty big house. Or at least a decent sized for a one-person dwelling. And I think we're going to cut out an area of the room here so we have that little backyard. I'm not sure. But we'll plant these. Or plant these, yes. We'll plant this clay. And just see how it looks like up above. And 1, 2, 3. It's more of a fortification structure now than anything else. Kind of like a clay... Oh, crap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. That was my mistake. Glad I caught that before I realized it. I would have raged. as far as I could rage, considering the fact it's a video game. But so let's get these guys out of the way. There we go. Looks like a little fortified Tatooine structure against those dirty Tusken Raiders. So speaking of Tusken Raiders, I have seriously considered, I'm going up to Acon, 1, 2, 3, going up to Acon last weekend of March, or excuse me, first weekend of June. And I don't do a whole lot of cosplay other than my LARP persona, but I have seriously considered getting a Tusken Raider costume and just randomly running around doing Tusken Raider stuff. I think that'd be kind of funny, because I hadn't seen a whole lot of people do stuff like that, you know, just randomly run by the queue lines doing that, which I can actually do pretty well, but I don't want to blow out you guys' ears on the mic or destroy my mic in the process. But I think that'd be kind of funny. So let's... You know, actually, I think I could make the house a little bit smaller. Not too much smaller, but... Or, oh, okay, I see what we could do. We could go ahead and make the house take up a section of the wall. Kind of like the Alamo actually did. Like a corner keep kind of thing. And then have this entire area open. That could work. That could look really cool. So where did we say was going to be the front door? The front door was going to be this way. Well, actually, we could go ahead and just have this be the front entrance. And put the courtyard and stuff out here. So we got to get rid of all this. And I'm going to need... You know what? I have kept myself from doing it. I am going to have to make a derp tower. So I can see what this thing looks like from above without continually having to go up that mountain. But it's okay. I've ended up doing a lot of things I didn't want to do in this series already. At least we didn't have to get all the clay the hard way. And it feels really weird not having any animals in this mesa whatsoever, except for those squid, which are the last thing that you would find in a mesa biome. I figured that Mojang would have put in dogs to represent coyotes, because there are a ton of coyotes in the mesa and southwest areas. And just to say we did, let's fill this area up. I will eventually have to come back here, but I just need a point of reference. So, if that's going to be the entrance right there, might as well have the entrance if the tree farm's right there. Then the house could be... The house could actually take up this much room. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The house could take up this, and this could be like the front yard kind of thing. And then we can put the fencing over here. Let's see how many blocks this is. I didn't even check that first, which I really should have. Well, let's see how much space we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so we've got 25 here. So we can put just one door. I actually would like to do double doors, though. And I hate having things uneven. I like the front doors of these places need to be double. So, and this is my feng shui at work here. We'll go ahead and add another line here, so this will be 26 in all. Now, one of the interesting things, if they wanted like a nasty kind of southwestern mob for players to deal with, they should get javelinas. I don't know if you guys know what javelinas are. They're pretty numerous in southeast New Mexico, but they are these really small but vicious feral pigs that have really nasty tusks, and they kill dogs and cats and all kinds of manner. I've heard of them taking down horses before too, in packs, or not, in little small groups, but vicious little creatures, man. People here in Texas, I don't think have ever heard of them. At least a lot of them haven't. When I tell them, they don't believe me, and then I show them pictures, and they're just like, "Good grief." So, let's see. We got 26 now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So we can do that. And then, actually, this is funny because I build Lego sets exactly like this. I get if I'm just freestyling, I do the base frame and then just work on it from there. So how much do we still have? We still have some wood in the chest. I'm going, just for the sake of argument, going to get some. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's not the kind of wood I'm wanting for the doors. Yeah, oak is not going to be what we need. I think I'm wanting to get those missionary looking doors. But let's go ahead and just do this so we can see what the doors will actually look like. And then I'll have to go on an expedition for specific types of wood, which then I will grab. I'll grab some of them for planting here. So, and then we have all this area that we can put some green or certain kinds of walkways, our crops all along here. This will look awesome, like a little mini farm. And we'll be well protected from zombies and all manner of horrendous folk and unwelcome visitors and solicitors. Avon and Amway and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I like that. What do you guys think? And I still would really like to hear your opinion on the sunken floor idea. But in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and end the episode here, since I've been running around trying to do this foundation. And if you liked it, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. That'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.